Willie D Live.
What's up, family? It's been 12 years since rapper Lil JoJo, aka Joseph Coleman, was killed in a drive-by in Chicago. JoJo garnered distinction in Chicago's early drill music scene. He was affiliated with the faction of the Gangster Disciples that is a rival of factions of the Black Disciples. He rose to prominence in the local drill scene with his single 300K and its accompanying music video, which was a diss song to rival members that exacerbated already hostile inter-gang disputes. JoJo's death was highly publicized, and the circumstances surrounding his murder are remembered by Chicago residents as a landmark instance of the city's intensifying gang violence problem. To date, not surprisingly, law enforcement has not made any arrest in connection to the events, and the case remains open. So why is Lil JoJo's death relevant today? One could cite his death and the way he lived his life as a precursor for how rappers move today when they have beef with one another. Many rappers, they go right into the studio and make diss records. They hop on the internet and say disrespectful things to one another. They talk about pulling up and what they gonna do and who they gonna do it to. Yeah, meet me right here. This is where, they dropping their location. Lil JoJo was one of the first to drop his location to his ops. And it wasn't long thereafter that he got dropped. After Lil JoJo's death, there were debates on how the rap and drill scene affected the youth, not just in Chicago, but nationally, with the music normally having violent and antagonizing lyrics. There were also debates on how social media heavily affected the situation with the current gang wars and feuds that were happening before, during, and after the death of Lil JoJo. There's an old saying, if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it. I don't know if a lot of youngsters out there care enough about their own life to care about how history dictates events. Fam, it's like a lot of them really don't care, and they see it all the time. They see dudes trolling their ops and making threats. They hear the diss songs. They rock out to the diss songs. And what do they do when they have a problem with somebody? Go straight in the studio and make a diss song. And the idea with a diss song is to try to be as disrespectful as possible. Disrespect everything. Mama, daddy, sister, brother, wife, girlfriend, children, dead grandma, handicapped granddaddy, whoever. Anybody can get it. And what happens when a person has that type of energy? Normally they get it. Now here's the thing. If you're built that way to where you just don't care, which I really don't think you just don't care. Some of y'all don't care. But if you care just a little about life, you really want to live, I think most of y'all really, really care, because when them bullets start coming, y'all be ducking and y'all be running. If you really, really just didn't care, you go ahead on and take the hit and lie down. Stop struggling to breathe. Just go ahead on and let it go. But that's not what I see time and time again. I see cats scrambling, scurrying, running, begging, crying. That's what I see. The lifestyle is just not conducive to healthy living. And the true part about it is, oftentimes, I don't think these guys really think about the people that they say that they love. And I mean on both sides, not just the shooter, but the person that gets shot who brings that negative energy on themselves. Because when the killers come, they don't ask questions. They don't say, hey, can you scoot over? Why kill your boyfriend? Why kill your son? They're going to just start shooting. And whoever in the car going to get it. Whoever in that house going to get it. right? And the shooter don't even think about what's going to happen to him and the people that he so-called love. He's talking about, I love my kids and woo, woo, woo. They get popped. They go out there and do something crazy. Consciously go out there and do something crazy that you know that there are severe consequences for. Then get jammed up and start talking about how somebody won't let you see your children, how you miss your babies. Come on, fam. I'm just trying to help you, man. You don't want to help, you ain't got to take it. Oh, hey, you don't care, I don't care. But for those who care, I do care. One could argue that before Lil JoJo got killed for trolling his enemies, rolling up on them, threatening them, you didn't really see a lot of that going on. But now we have evidence. We know what the consequences look like. So there really ain't an excuse for somebody to be disrespectful to the dead, trolling, threatening to kill, talking about pull up and all this stuff. We've seen so many examples of people getting their heads knocked off. So we can't say we don't know now. We can't say we don't have the information. We got the information. Now it's up to us to use it in a way where we can play to stay. That's stay alive. That's stay free. That's the name of the game. Stay free. Stay alive. I do not think if there was no internet, so many youngsters would be putting themselves in the line of fire. When I see this happening, what that tells me, youngster, is you have to work on your self-esteem. And there's ain't nothing wrong with it, because a lot of us had to deal with that, Most of us have had self-esteem issues. In fact, I'll go as far as saying all of us, at some point in our lives, we've had self-esteem issues. No matter how good you look, how successful you are, how much money you got, or your mama and daddy got, how big of a house you live in, how nice of a car you drive, or how stylish your clothes are. We've all had issues with self-esteem at some point. This whole thing is about attention. That's the allure, attention. Trying to act tough, trying to be perceived as tough. As I said, family, if you just don't care, I get it. Some people just don't care about life. Some people take their life for granted and they lose it, because that's what's going to happen. When you take your life for granted, you end up getting your life cut short. So if you just don't care, I get it. But if you got plans on getting married and having children and watching those kids grow up and being there to protect them and nurture and provide and give them the guidance that they need to navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world, then your actions have to be consistent with the outcome that you want. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.